Now question number 8, as I told you, this is again a question which is relating to the poem. Okay, so let me write down the 8th question which you have. Identify the contrasting image from the following that is used in the poem. Okay, identify the image that is contrasting to the following in the poem. Okay, so words will be given to you. Words were actually given to you. First is shock and strain. Shock and strain. Okay, do you think they are contrasting to each other? I don't think so. Okay, shock and strain, maybe if they don't go parallel, but they are not completely opposite to each other. The second was grim and glad. Grim and glad. Okay, I hope you know and understand the meanings of grim and glad. Now the third option that was provided to you, from these two you can, I think you can make out what will be the answer. Broken and mad was the third option. Okay, broken and mad due to the war. Okay, they are shattered, they are broken, and they have become mad. Okay, mad at war or the reasons behind it. Okay, shock and strain, grim and glad, broken and mad. The fourth option was stammering and disconnected. Okay, this was the last option or the fourth option given. So from these four options, you can understand very well what will be the answer. Contrasting, that means just the opposite in nature. What is contrasting to the following in the poem? The answer is B. That is grim and glad. Okay, take a screenshot so that I can proceed on to the next question. Okay, 8 questions finished. Now coming to the 9th question. Question 9 relating to the poem. In the above mentioned poem, what does the poet in the above mentioned poem, what does the poet, above mentioned poem means the survivors, okay, written by Siegfried Sassoon, which I have just read out to you. Okay, so in the above mentioned poem, what does the poet intend to convey when he says that boys will be proud of glorious war? Okay, so this is the question that was given to you. In the above mentioned poem, what does the poet intend to say when he says boys will be proud of glorious war? The first option was the victory of their nation. Okay, will boys be proud of the victory of the nation? Okay, this is the first option. The second option that was given to you is the second option. No, let me discuss the first option was victory of the war. That means they have won the war. The second option was their love for war. Now, whom do I mean by there? There means the boys. Okay, the boys will be proud of the glorious war because they love the war. Okay, they feel great about the war and they are proud of the war, so they love them. Okay, the third option was their patriotic love for the nation. Their patriotic love for the nation. Now, B and C is quite different. B is talking about the love of war, and the C, option C, is talking about the patriotism or the love they have towards their country. The fourth option is the paradoxical nature of their victory. The paradoxical nature of their victory. Okay, I hope you can understand the meaning of the word paradoxical. So these four options being provided, the correct answer will be A, the victory of their nation. Okay, in the above mentioned poem, what does the poet intend to say when he says boys will be proud of glorious war, the victory of the nation? But their patriotic love for the nation can also be marked as the correct answer. Okay, now coming to question number 10. Which of the following options does not capture? First, let me erase this. Which of the following, that is from the options, does not capture? This is question number 10. Okay, I just forgot, I was hurrying up to erase the question number. So the question number 10 is, which of the following does not capture the meaning of the verb cow? Does not capture the meaning of the word cow. Now this was the word that was mentioned in the poem. Okay, I just read out the poem to you, so you must have understood. Which of the following does not capture the meaning of the word cow used in the phrase cowed subjection? Okay, so cowed subjection was the word that was used. So now we will write, or we will come to know about the options. Which of the following does not capture the meaning of the word cow used in the phrase cowed subjection? First is insinuate. Okay, the first option that had been given to you was insinuate. The second option was petrify. Okay, petrify, which means glorify, and so on. The third option given to you was, first was insinuate, the second option was petrify, which actually means glorify and glamorize. The third option was intimidate. This was the third option. Cowed subjection, the meaning of the word cowed subjection: insinuate, petrify, intimidate. The fourth option and the last option that was given to you is was frighten. Okay. Now from these four options you can make out the meaning of the phrase cowed subtraction. Okay. Which is relevant to the poem here. It not be the correct phrase but the actual meaning, but the meaning which is very close to here is option number B, which is petrify. So the correct option is B. Okay. Now we have finished the 10 questions of the passage and the poem. Now coming to the next question. The next question is question number 11, which does not belong to the paragraph or which does not even belong to the poem. Okay. The question was, identify the figure of speech used in the following questions, question number 11 to 14. Now, the question 11 was, when I moved to Chennai from Delhi, I had many sleepless nights during summer. When I moved from Chennai to Delhi, I had many sleepless nights. Okay. When I moved from Chennai to Delhi, I had many sleepless nights during summer. Now, the options given was litolets, transferred epithet, metonymy and metaphor. So, the correct option will be option A, that is litolets. Now, the next question. What a piece of work is man? This is question number 12. What a piece of work is man? So here also you have to identify the figure of speech. Now, how notable in reason, how infinite in faculties. Okay, this was the entire question. What a piece of work is man? How notable in reason, how infinite in faculties, in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god. In action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god. Okay. Now, this was the entire question that was given. Okay, a big question. So, I had taken a little bit of time to write. Follow this question. What a piece of work is man? How notable in reason? How infinite in faculties? In action, how like an angel? In apprehension, how like a god? Now, this is your entire question. Now, can you identify the figure of speech here? Just think a little bit. The options given were firstly pun, B, irony, C, synecdoche, fourth was climax. Let me give you the answer. It will be 4, that is option number B, that is irony. Okay, irony. Okay.